sir.
Hi, welcome to Prudent View. This is Tiffany, and along with me is Mr. A.
Hey guys, you know there are some corporations out there who have lobbied for the right to not have to pay their employees the standard minimum wage. It only applies in certain states, and it only applies to employees who receive tips as part of their regular earnings. And wow, this is bullshit, right, Tiff?
Absolutely, it is ridiculous. If you don't mind, I'm going to call the company out. It is Frisch's Big Boy is one of the companies that we are going to be talking about. This is not the only company that does this, but because we know that they do, we're calling them out, and then we will continue to call out more and more companies as we are more and more informed on exactly which company does this. Now, you also need to know that the company also has the choice to not pay below that minimum wage cut. They can choose to, and say, okay, we're going to go ahead and pay you your minimum wage,
right,
and then you can earn your tips as extra earnings.
Right. Well, what are we talking about here? I mean, how much is Frisch's paying their food servers?
Well, each state is a little bit different because each minimum wage in each state is a little bit different.
Right.
They can go down as low as like $2, $2.50, something like that. But for argument's sake, we'll just say $3, even $3. Okay. A waitress will be earning $3 an hour.
You mean Frisch's only has to pay $3 an hour?
Frisch's only has to pay $3 an hour.
You guys fucking hear that? That's fucking ridiculous.
And let's say the state minimum wage is $8 an hour, okay?
Okay. Then how did they get away with paying only $3 an hour?
Because the general public has to compensate for that lack, for the remainder. That's over half of that employee's payment.
All right, so let me get this straight. So Frisch's pays their food server $3 an hour, and the patrons of the restaurant
have to pay the rest of that.
Wow.
So their tip isn't a tip for service. It's, you have to pay this waitress for working for my company.
Oh, did you guys hear that? Wow. I am flabbergasted. In all my life, I never heard of such unfairness.
It is another way for a rich man to penny pinch his way and fuck the middle class or lower class group of people. You know what? You already have your fortune. Don't screw somebody who's actually trying to make a living for themselves, who's trying to work their way through college or trying to work their way through high school to earn a car, or even worse, a single mom who's trying to earn money for her family. How do you... I guess I was about to say, how do you sleep at night, but probably pretty well because your mattress is firm with lots of money hidden in it. Yeah, but I mean, fuck you, dude. Yeah. How the fuck are you gonna do that, you cheap ass piece of shit? I'm sorry, I know I dropped a lot of bombs, but what is your problem? Wow. I am serious. What is your problem?
Yeah.
How do you get away with this?
How do they get away with it? They lobbied for it. They got together. That's something that we need to do.
This needs to be our first cause. This needs to be our first cause on Prudent View. Anyone who earns any kind of tip, any waitress, any food server, anyone who earns a kind of tip where you're getting screwed out of your money, we need to rally together. We need to boycott our companies. We need to not show up to work. And we need to seriously say, you are going down if you don't make this right. A tip is something that is given to a server because she or he provided a service to a customer, and they are given that extra because they were impressed and satisfied. And if you get stiffed, then that means you sucked.
Right. Now, in all fairness, let's explain that the company, in this case, we're talking about Frisch's. So let's explain to the listeners that Frisch's is responsible to pay their tipped employees the standard minimum wage.
If they had a slow night, or let's say there was a blizzard and they were in the middle of a shift when the blizzard hit and no one came in, which means that employee didn't get any tips, then yes, the company does have to pay that. But there is no reason
Yeah, but that's the only time that the company would have to pay out of their own pockets the full minimum wage.
Yeah.
But as we all know, food servers, for the most part, overall,
We'll earn about minimum wage.
yeah, they'll in tips they'll earn about minimum wage. So Frisch's and companies like Frisch's get away with not having to pay the full minimum wage. They're only paying what? In some cases,
we'll say some of them are like $2.50, somewhere in between there.
Anywhere less than $3 an hour to a little over $3 an hour, right?
Yes, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's fucking greedy. That's corporate greed at its best.
Absolutely. You are paying your employee to put gas into their car to make it to work.
And that's all you're doing. That's it. When you become a food server or any kind of employee that receives tips, you take that position because you're thinking, hey, I'm going to get at least minimum wage plus my tips, so I'm going to actually be making more than minimum wage. I'll be able to support my family. I'll be able to pay for that extra college course, or I'll be able to put some in the savings. And then you get to Frisch's, you find out what the fuck. And then you become utterly disappointed, and now you turn down all the other jobs. So what are you going to do? Now you're stuck at Frisch's, right? And then what about, Frisch's, you're disrespecting your employees. You really are. What are you telling them? You're saying they're only worth $3 an hour from your own pocket? That's what you're saying? What the fuck is that? Fuck you.
And how do you expect your employee to give you the best service and the best work? You're not going to get good work ethic people. That is why your restaurants are doing so bad. That is why your customers don't come in a lot. That is why you don't have a good clientele. If you pay minimum wage, you're going to get a minimum wage rate of work, which means no matter what they do, they're going to make minimum wage. So why give excellent service? And then why should that customer come back if they don't get excellent service?
Yeah, you know what? We shouldn't even be giving these guys advice. They know it all already. That's why they're fucking rich. But you know what?
But I don't think these waitresses know that in other states, this isn't allowed.
Right, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe. There are states that...
And if you are a first-time waitress and you're in a company like this, you just think this is the norm. You don't know that the guy next door is paying minimum wage, and whatever tips they get is an extra gratuity to them for a good job well done.
Hey, in fact, let's give praise to a certain company that doesn't follow this practice and has every right to. What company is it?
The Radisson Hotel. They pay above the minimum wage for their waitresses, and they get tipped. And there's no gratuity on there. It is whatever you tip. It's an actual tip, not charged gratuity. And I'm telling you right now, those ladies walk out with 100+ most nights.
And they deserve it, though, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. They give excellent service because they have an incentive to do a good job.
Right. Thumbs up to the Radisson. Thumbs down. Double thumbs down to Frisch's. For
triple.
Triple. Hey, how about just suck some dick, Frisch's, because that's all you're worth.
Absolutely. Leave your comments. Let us know what you think. And seriously, we've got to get together on this one and be united and have a voice, because this is not right.
Yeah, just remember one thing. Those rich motherfuckers lobbied against us.
You.
Yeah, you. Us. Everyone. It's time we fight back.
Thank you, and leave your comments.